Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I knew when I saw the announcement about this hearing that it was going to feel awfully personal. I want to thank you all for being here and for your advocacy. Ms. Savage, thank you. You are saving lives. You talked about the power of storytelling when you meet with students. So I want to share just a little of mine. I think most of the people on this committee know that I was raised by my grandparents because I talk about them all the time, oftentimes in the context of committee hearings that we're having. I worked with Senator Collins on a different caregiver measure that was signed into law just 2 weeks ago, dealing more with supporting families who are caring for elderly people who are becoming frail or adults with disabilities. But I don't think I've often shared why I was raised by my maternal grandparents. My mother was 19 when I was born and going through a divorce, moved back home, but throughout her life struggled with mental illness and physical illness and chronic pain, for which in the days well before we labeled an opioid epidemic, she was prescribed a multitude of benzodiazepines, narcotics, and other medications. I always knew and had a lot of contact with my mother when I was growing up. She lived very close by. But my grandparents were heroes and gave me a stable upbringing. And they thought they were empty nesters. They were both in their mid-50s. Both of their daughters had left the home, and I don't think they imagined that they were going to get an infant. I moved in when I was 2 months old. I actually had the same grade school principal that my mother had when she was in grade school. And I know they struggled. One of the issues they struggled with was health insurance coverage for me. They weren't in the foster system. This was an informal arrangement. But I saw what my mother struggled with, misusing, addiction, and I saw my grandparents. Again, just my rocks, my folks who just, were with me the whole time. I had the honor of returning to care for my grandmother when she was in her 90s and needed caregiving. And so the issue of supporting our families in these roles from all perspectives, whether it's getting the person with substance abuse issues the help they need, or supporting the families and foster parents who step forward and give a kid a chance. I cared so deeply about this.